Cade, obviously one thing we've noticed about you is just your ability to get better as games go on and adjust in real time. Like where does that come from? Is that just being confident in yourself and aware of what you can and can't do against an opponent and adjust? Like where does that come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, taking each possession as its own little game, and, trying to make the best read that play. But after that play is over with, you got to throw it away and move on. So, I never really just feel out of sync or like my shot is just fully off. I just feel like the last shot was off. So, I keep shooting. I mean, I've worked really hard to become a pretty good shooter. So, my team trusts me whenever I can get a good look. I mean, I'm going to take it. And I mean, the whole night we were playing through the team. Saddiq made a lot of good plays for us. Isaiah, Hami, I mean, everybody was contributing. So, Frank, I mean, whenever everybody's going like that, it's a lot easier for the floor to open up for me and make plays.
And when you go against a team like the Cavs, who have one of the bigger front courts in the NBA, and I'd imagine just being as young as you are, you probably haven't seen a team that long. To go in there, and is there a feeling out period too to start, just kind of to see where the holes are going to be, where the spots are going to be, what you can do, what you can't do right now?
I mean, you definitely have to be smart going in there. Jared Allen, Evan, both of them, elite rim protectors. So you can't be nervous going in there and scared to get to the rim, because that's going to shrink, your offense a little bit. They're going to be able to pack it in, but you have to pick your spots and stay aggressive. And like you said, you feel it out. And as the game went on, opportunities started to present themselves.
Okay, from a standpoint, fan standpoint, big appeal for this game. Obviously, two top 3 picks going at it. You and Evan have both had great seasons. How much do you pay attention to that sort of thing? And was that something you had, in your mind going into tonight?
I mean, I definitely knew that was going to be, one of the narratives of the game. But, I never really try to focus in too much on that stuff. I can't play Evan Mobley's game better than him, and he can't play his game or my game better than me. So, I try to just focus on what I have to do to play the game, and I'm sure he's doing the same. And, if I just focus on myself, I mean, I feel like I'll put myself in the best position. But sometimes when you focus on the narratives and stuff, your mind's not in the right place.
You had the 2 threes that were huge down the stretch. You had the half-court pass to Saddiq. You had a play where you got blocked, but then you punched the ball out and recovered it. Was there any one play tonight that meant the most to you or that you're the proudest of?
I'd probably say the steal at the very end was a big play for me. I feel like we need to stop, but I feel like just how us as guards, as a unit, how we rebounded the ball today was big for us. They have a really big team, and we have a couple of undersized lineups, so rebound the ball is going to be big for us, and I think we did a good job.
Making those, I guess, adjustments, those real-time adjustments from first half to second half, quarter to quarter, that requires a lot of thought. So how do you think the game while still being, like, instinctive and not losing what makes you out there?
I think the first thing is to stand in the moment. You reflect for sure. You think about, how you're going to approach the next half and things, but you can't be a prisoner to the first half and think about how that went the whole time, because the second half is going to be, a different game plan from our end and from their end. So I just try to stay in the moment, trust my work, and trust my teammates. And then I know, if I let the game come to me, things will, go in motion.
Saddiq, of course, had a very strong second half, along with yourself and the rest of the team. How would you say you've approached developing that chemistry with him? You and him have probably been the top 2 shot takers over the last month and a half or so. Just where are you at as far as that, and what did you see from him tonight?
I mean, anytime he's aggressive, getting downhill, getting open looks, we're in a good place. So, that's been something that me and him, we've tried to, build our chemistry up, and we know that if we can play well off of each other, we're going to create a lot of shots for each other. So, having him have games like tonight, I mean, is essential for our team because he's capable of it. He can go get 30 points in the game. So, we trust him to do that type of stuff, and we're going to try to keep putting him in position to do those things.
How important was it for you to, when you got back in the game after it was 15-0, the job that Frank and the bench did to allow you to kind of just stay, to not get out of character?
For sure. That second group, there's been a few games where, first the starting unit kind of had a bad start, and they bring us right back in it. So Trey, Frank, Rodney, Kill, I can name the whole group. They come in, they make a lot of plays, they bring energy. And that's what you need. Some nights it's not going to be there for the first unit, but having a second group come in, be locked in, and make plays for us, get us back in, is huge for us.
You played 37 minutes tonight and only one turnover. Is that something that, we're talking about it, the triple-double and everything, but only one turnover, does that jump out at you?
Yeah, I'm proud of that. I like that. I like that.
You talk about being locked in for the course of a whole game. It's something you guys need to do better as a team. But individually, Isaiah, for him not having the easiest first half, and he obviously has a hard assignment with whoever big man they throw out there. And he had a big fourth quarter. What have you just seen from him this season and his growth? And as he's also, he's young. I know he's only played this a season and a half, but he's still trying to figure things out too.
Yeah, thing about Isaiah, he's gonna try to outwork everybody. He's such a big piece for this team. Like I said, how hard he works is contagious for everybody. We kind of feed off of his energy a little bit, and he wants to make the right play every time. He wants to, get everybody else going, and having a big like that on your team, it only adds confidence to the guards. We know he's working his hardest for us. So, tonight was a big night for him, rebounding the ball, scoring it. He just made a lot of plays for us. So, super happy for him, proud of him. We're going to try to keep on helping put him in those positions. Appreciate y'all.
Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Steve, if I can take you back to the very early in the game, Dwane used a couple of timeouts. You guys have spotted them 15. You don't have to give me the exact message, but how did your guys' play change after what was discussed?
I think, this is the beauty of the NBA. We have so much time that 15-0, we didn't want to start like that, but we knew it's a lead that we could try to cut into, a couple of threes or a couple of good possessions, we were back at single digits, So, obviously we didn't come out the way we wanted to, and whether we were trying to just stay positive, but obviously we knew we had to play hard, play more defense, be more physical, rebound a little bit better. And we knew we were going to have a chance to get back in the game. We just had to be more physical.
I know you in particular had a real strong to the end of the second quarter and then really put it on yourself. It seemed like a lot in the third quarter. What was your mindset throughout the course of tonight?
Just to be aggressive, just try to take whatever opportunity I have and be aggressive with it. And whether that's making plays, for others or making plays for myself. And I'm just knowing that, in the past that we don't come out at halftime usually with a lot of energy. So I had to make sure that, coming out the third quarter, I wanted to be as aggressive as possible and give us a chance in the fourth.
What does it tell you about Cade that after missing, I think he was over 10 in the first half scoreless, to have the second half he's had?
Great player, man. He's, real resilient. We continue to trust in him. We continue to trust in everybody, and he has the ball in his hand. So, he's the floor general, and, we trust him. So there's just good resiliency for him to play, continue to play his game and, not force much.
You used the word resiliency. How did you guys find that and dig down as a team? Because, you did trail and you were kind of just nipping at their heels. And then that final, I think it was 7:35 of the game, you outscored them something like 26-2 or 26-7. It just seems kind of like this was a mature win, if I can use that word,
right.
that you took the lead and never relinquished it.
Right. I think as long as we just trust in what we wanted to do is playing physical, keep them off, the boards with, their bigs, and, just try to play as hard as we can. We can't really control whether the shots go in or not, but I think if we, credit to the coaches and the staff, just telling us, the things that we need to do is just lock in on the details, and then the score will take care of itself, So that's what we try to do.
Saddiq, I apologize if you've been asked about the half-court pass that Cade made to you. It was a pretty special pass. Talk about receiving it and what you thought of it.
You hit it around the head. It was a great pass. I think, it was just a great pass. I tried to run on the lane, and you found me. It was a hell of a pass.
Because this is one of the longest front courts in the NBA, and I would say this is probably in terms of your dribble drive game, one of the more impressive showings, just attacking that front court and finishing around the rim. What is the mindset you have to have going against those two? Do you have to be very direct and kind of not hesitate at all, either make the decision to go or not?
Right. I think kind of just use my shot, whether it's off the catch and shoot or, whether it's off the dribble, and try to use my speed and strength, and like you said, you kind of have to, you can't really play around, a lot with the ball or behind you. I have to go strong, go hard and go strong into the paint and try to finish fast, so that's the mentality that I had.
Kind of gets lost in the way the game ended, but how important was it for the contributions Frank and the bench made in the first half after they came out?
Oh, man, I mean, Frank was and Trey and the whole second unit, Killian did a great job. I think Frank had like 13 points in the first quarter or something like that. And, we I look at the score and I say, well, we right back in it, so he was just a great spark plug off the bench, great energy on both ends of the floor. So we really needed that to catapult.
Coach, there were a couple different runs in this game. There was one in particular, you guys, it was a 13-0 run. He went up 5. And then as the game kind of played out the rest of the way, your defense was paired with your ability to shoot the basketball. How pleased are you just with the way that you guys finished this game?
Well, again, it started out, the usual way, but I really love the way our guys bounced back, kept fighting, the resilience, the stick-to-it attitude that they had. The second unit, again, came in and set the tone and changed the game. And like you said, it was a game of runs. And also, I was proud of the way Cade played. He was, over, I don't know how many in the first half. And so, he stayed with it, kept his patience, kept his poise, got to where he wanted to go with the ball. And that's a typical young player in our league. It's never going to be all the way we want it to be. And, but he stayed with it and didn't lose his head, lose his mind, and executed what we needed to do. That was really important. But again, I can't say enough about our second unit that came in and rescued us again with their play, with their hustle, their togetherness. Frank Jackson, who hadn't played in forever, come in and had a big night, and we needed all of those 19 he made off the bench.
What can a game like this one do for you? I know your messaging at the beginning was, I'm not going to beg you to wake up, right? But so, the game didn't start out the right way, but
right.
For them to stick with it, like you said, the stick with itness, what can a game like this one do for a guy like Cade and the rest of those guys to be able to not just like get the lead or flirt with it, but to be able to like create distance there in the closing moments?
Well, Johnny, it's going to create it should create an attitude of how hard you have to play to win in this league each and every night, and how you have to focus on every little thing, detailed thing you do, whether it's screening, boxing out, the pivoting, getting down low, pivoting with your passing, the two-hand, all those little things we did, even though the game was frenetic. I thought we executed. I don't know how many turnovers we had. We only had, 9? Mm-hmm. And that was the difference in the game, where last time we played this team was 23 turnovers for 27 points. And so if you execute the little thing, it's not pretty, it's not fancy, you don't get the ooh-ah and all that, but it wins games on every level. So when James plays over at the AAU, then they win if they don't turn the ball over.
You got to make some more shots, too.
The way that Cleveland got a lot of second chances in the first half, but Isaiah plays so physically. Do you think that maybe he wore them down a little bit?
I think he did. I love the way Isaiah attacked the boards, and again, didn't start out that way, but he found his niche of how he could create space and have them to feel him. And that, like you said, Keith, that's so important. It's a 15-round bout, and the way he plays, how hard he plays, a lot of guys don't want to battle that the entire night. And I think he has the respect of the officials. And, that is a talent. That is a talent to be able to make them feel you for 4 quarters. And it may not start out that way, but just keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. And he was a difference. And not only we call it maybe the first play of the game for him. And all his other points came from tip-ins, putbacks, offensive rebounds. All those things are just as important to see your number called with a play, and we're getting that more. It's about the Detroit Pistons scoring more so than any individual. And for a young team, that is something that we're still developing.
Dwane, it felt like this was really kind of a growth win, if you will, because usually when a team or this team spends all that energy and effort fighting back, clawing back, when they take the lead, they often relinquish it and just come close. but you guys turned the corner and never looked back.
Hopefully that's a growth. It's a growth. And again, I'm not surprised by anything in our league. We look like $1 million one night, and what we're striving for more than it is growth, yes, but also consistency. Consistency in our approach, consistency in executing, consistency in our defensive schemes. Whatever it is, we're working on consistency. I mean, that's something that we're preaching because tonight's game was day and night than the Orlando game.
Seemed like tonight Saddiq used the threat of his shot to create those dribble attack opportunities for him. And maybe in the past, as he's tried to evolve his game, he's maybe forced some of those drives, but it didn't feel like that tonight. I feel like it came a little bit more natural.
It was, and he's getting a feel for that because he's such a great shooter. And then I'm on him all the time about take the first one. So that's a feel that you get. How close is the defense? How long that guy is? Can I get it off? And I think the more he develops that feel, James, I think the more he's going to be able to pump fake and drive or actually take the shot. So it's another area where experience will teach you that.
Cade had a play where he had the half court one bounce pass to Saddiq. There was a play where he got blocked and then he punched the ball out of it.
He got to steal those two big.
Steal.
Well, the first one.
Threes. What?
Well, I've said he's a clutch player. He has it down the stretch, and hopefully it continues throughout his career here in Detroit. But the bigger the moment, the better Cade he steps up in those moments. You know, he may turn it over, but like he did, he throw it back. Like I told him, you better catch that one-hand bounce pass from half court. You better catch it. So, but again, only a few guys in our league could probably make that pass and complete it. And Saddiq did a good job of finishing the play and getting the and one going to the basket. So, it was a beautiful play, and I'm glad it was executed. It's not, we're not preaching that pass. I'm telling you that right now. We're preaching two hands because, again, like I told him before the game, we cut our turnovers down below 12, we win the game. And we can't give that team 27 points off turnovers the way we did up in Cleveland.
Dwane, also on Cade, this was the second game in a row where he didn't make a shot in the first quarter. And on Friday, tonight, of course, he recovered. What did he do differently tonight, or was it just a difference in the way?
Just continue to talk to him about keep at it. I thought he was rushing things once he got in there, and I told him just slow down. You play off 2 feet, use your pump fakes, your footwork, your pivoting in there, and not try to jump up over a 7-footer or 2 7-footers. And once he got a feel for that, I thought he, executed pretty well and finished the plays down the stretch. And that, again, we're talking about first and second year guys going against 7-footers that probably they didn't see in college, and not too many saw it. He probably had played against a lot of them, even in the summertime. So he's getting that feel for it. And but again, I like the way he, like you were saying, he has stuck with it instead of dropping his head, giving in, and getting frustrated. He didn't get frustrated. And I think that's something that because he's going to see different defenses every night, and the more he can get used to it, the more he gets a feel for it, the more comfortable he's going to be.
Are you surprised that he makes adjustments in real time? Like sometimes it takes young players film and almost a year to go around the league to see different things. You just mentioned first half to second half, he can quickly make that adjustment. What does that say about him?
Well, again, he's a special kid. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of defenses still to see, a lot of different defenders. Cleveland's got some pit bulls at that position that were into him, and then they added Rondo in the same mix. So he was going against some elite defenders. And then once you get by them, now you got two trees behind him. So that takes an adjustment. I mean, and he did. Vincent, between the first half and the second half, and even in the second half, he struggled a little bit, but he stayed with it. He figured it out, and a lot of things in those situations, it's hard to teach that. He has that gene that allows him to make those adjustments in real time.
I believe tonight was the 15th time in the last 17 games Trey Lyles scored in double figures, and he's really kind of settled in, playing that backup 4 or 5, attacking closeouts against the rim. Just how big has that been for him to be able to come in and become one of the most consistent contributors on the team over the last month?
I think he's solid. He's been a blessing, especially the stuff we've been through. Stepping in out of position, completing plays, completing shots, and really he's become a weapon for us because he's our stretch 5. We give up a little thing. I was proud of the way we out-rebounded them tonight, 48-41, one of the biggest teams in the league. But you know, he's given us everything he had, and hopefully he can get back to his normal position when Kelly comes back and Jeremy comes back. But hopefully he keeps his shooting hand hot. I told him tonight he was hotter than fish grease, so keep shooting it. Keep shooting it.
Thanks, man.
All right. All right. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.